Hello everyone. This talk is going to be delivered by Dongpo, who is a long-time OSM user and very active in Taiwan community, but unfortunately he cannot come to Nepal, so I'm giving this talk on behalf of him. OSM Taiwan community started around 2006. This is the map of Taiwan at January 1st, 2007. We only have a coastline, and most of the area are blank. And this is when 2014 we have most of our major city covered, including roads, buildings, land use, and POIs, etc. So data-wise, we are pretty good now. And as for the people, OSM Taiwan community currently have a Facebook group, a mailing list, and Slack for communication. The mailing list is not active but alive. It's usually used by several open source communities in Taiwan to discuss about collaborations and invitations, etc. And the Slack channel is currently nowadays occupied by bots. So most of the discussions will occur on Facebook group, which is open to everyone who is interested in OSM in Taiwan to share stories and experiences, and also for announcement for your project. Number of mappers in Taiwan has been increasing for the last 10 years. And we are more concerned about the level of participation of these users nowadays. So the number 90 to 9 to 1 is, in our experience, about the ratio of the number of users that has ever participated in any of your community in any way, to the number of users that would appear regularly, to the number of very active users. So we estimate that we have about 5,000 mappers in Taiwan now. So we think there are about 50 very active mappers in Taiwan and about 450 regular users of OpenStreetMap in Taiwan. And local chapters. So we run OSM Taiwan board for a year in 2016. The structure was like this. Every mapper can pay a membership fee to become a member. The membership fee was about $20 and every member can vote for a board member. And in the end, 11 board members was elected, me included. It was designed this way with the idea that we can grow this OSM Taiwan board into a foundation in Taiwan and then to a local chapter of OSMF in Taiwan. And at the end of 2016, we run another election, but the number of members is quite low, so we believe that the election result is not representative, so the board suspended working for a year. And we're now running another recruitment for member, as you can see in the page if you can read Chinese. But basically, the end of the recruitment will be December 31, 2017, so it's continuing, it's ongoing. And currently there are 22 members. So as I said before, we estimate we have like 50 active users and 450 regular users of OSM. So 28 members doesn't seem very representative to us, so we're still working on it. And this is also a case that you can see participants are not equal to mappers. In Taiwan, the mappers, many of the mappers might not participate in Facebook discussions and vice versa. So OSM Taiwan has to somehow build and grow on the user basis that is the intersection of these two user groups. Okay, community activities. We have mapping parties with SotM-Asia. This is some photos. SotM-Asia is a global non-governmental organization working in humanitarian works and disaster reduction. So the mapping party was actually part of their training courses. These are some pictures. And we have had some mapping parties with universities under various framings. This one in the pictures is about storytelling with maps. And we have monthly meeting in Taipei, which is a very good way to contact with other communities in Taiwan, including mountain climbers or emergency rescuers communities. They have been actively participated in these meetups. And we have a conference this year in Taiwan, SotM-Asia Taiwan. It was a one-day event, and among the 12 talks, 2 of them are from OSM Japan. And there are about 70 participants. And this is some of the pictures. And this is the distribution of types of participants. So academia and business are the majority. And we have a group of people attending SOTM Japan this year. And we also attend COSCUP. COSCUP is the biggest open source annual conference in Taiwan, which usually has about 800 participants each year. And we have workshops there. Okay, projects. This project is about importing government open data into OpenStreetMap. It's focusing on the open data released by Taichung City government. Taichung City is in the middle part of Taiwan. It's one of the very few local governments that release address data as open data. So this project is currently working on merging those addresses into OpenStreetMap. Water Go project is a collaboration with a local environmental NGO to raise concern about problems of bottled water in Taiwan. So we made a web map of all freely available water sources in Taiwan around you, so that we can encourage people to bring their own containers and use these water sources instead of buying bottled waters. For the concern of the plastic waste it will generate, and also the waste of water resources during its production. And we also have a feature for the user to submit water source data directly in the map view. So this is a use case of not only we're using OpenStreetMap data, but we're also creating OpenStreetMap data in the context of using it. Data quality project, this will take some time. This is a research project conducted by 2 mappers in Taiwan, which is Dong Po and Huang Xin. The project is to measure the data quality of OpenStreetMap raw data in Taiwan against government data. So the measure of quality is measured by Jakarta index, which is the formula at the bottom of the slides. Basically, the way it works is that it splits the area of comparison into 1 km times 1 km squares, and pull out the raw data in those squares and add a 10-meter buffer to those rows, and then calculate the ratio of the area that are overlapping in these two data sets. So basically, the bigger the number, the more similar the 2 data sets. And the number will be between 0 and 1. So this is a demonstration of their calculations. And the interesting part about this research is that you can see the improvements of quality over time quantitatively. So when it's about 2016, Mapbox did a massive work of improving the raw data in Taiwan. So this research also did a comparison study about Kathmandu's raw data before and after the work of Mapbox. So this is the result. The horizontal axis is the Jakarta index. So the right side of the bar on the right side are those of the higher quality roads, and the bar on the left side are those of the low quality roads. And the vertical bars is the number of blocks, the 1K times 1K squares. So, and the red bars are the distribution at 2017, and the blue bar are the distribution before the work at 2014. So you can see that as for primary roads, the number of higher quality roads increased, the number of low quality roads decreased. And the same for motorways, and about the same for secondary roads and tertiary roads. And for residential road, the study is inconclusive because the whole the number of roads increased as a whole, so we cannot tell if it implies an increase in quality or increase in shear volume. So that's the conclusion of this study, and that's all I have. Thank you.